the little children. Curtis, for 15 years, number one or number two every freaking year. Has over 14,000 customers, number two rep in all-time company history, over 8 million in sales, and some of his best skill sets. And like, by the way, he's one of the national trainers. He helps create videos and best practices for all of our top performers. They actually learn from him. And so he's a master of new customers at the booth, of rapport building, and really turning customer relationships into repeat orders. So he's one of the national consultants for Cutco sales growth and helps give advice on programs and systems that he thinks would make things better. And he was number one in the Cutco world 2009. 2012, 15, 19, and 2020. And he's been the most consistent representative in our company, selling over $250,000 year in, year out. The past year's over $1 million, which is ridiculous in a year. And he's helped a lot of his top reps sell a lot. So he's got an amazing wife, beautiful daughter, Chloe. And last year, he did a 1.1 million in 2019, his first $1 million year, okay, as a sales rep. That's pretty awesome. And even last year during the pandemic, did over $800,000 last year. He makes 50% commissions. You guys can do math. That's pretty badass. And on his way to another $800,000 year. So Curtis, I'm gonna hand it over to you. All you. We're so excited to have you, sir.
Perfect. Can you hear me, Kathy?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that I get to speak to you guys today. I almost had to call Kathy on Sunday and let her know that I probably wouldn't be speaking after my motorcycle accident. But the good thing is that I can breathe now and I'm sitting up straight. So that's good.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
But I'm excited to talk to you guys today about package deals, selling bigger orders, the elusive Cutco kitchen. I know that you guys are probably going, what do you mean Cutco kitchen? What is he talking about? There's so many things that are in our business that a lot of reps don't even know that we have, because we kind of trap you in a little bubble and we teach you just to sell sets, right? And you guys probably heard that today from Dante, and he did a great job on teaching you guys how to sell sets and sell lots of sets. Because as you guys know, the more sets you sell, the bigger your paycheck gets, and the faster your business grows as well. But the main thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is not just selling sets, because sets are something that's easy to sell. And if you're having a hard time hearing me say it's easy to sell, then you got to change something within your own mentality. Okay, because sets are the easiest thing to sell in Cutco. And the reason why is because they just give more for the bang for their buck. They give everything that they need. It's the perfect fit for most people when they're buying knives. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to not only give you guys that belief and that mentality today, but I wanted to blow your mind on how you can get customers to buy $5,000, $7,000, $9,000, $10,000 of the Cutco on one appointment. And the thing that you need to know is that people are doing this left and right, right? If you see anyone in those top rank tiers where you see a rep that sold 20K, 30K, 40K for the week, just know that they've had $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 orders during that week that help them get to that number. So what we want to do is we want to make it so that you can wrap your mind around people spending $8,000 to $10,000 on a Cutco kitchen. I don't know if any of you guys know what a Cutco kitchen is, but it's basically the blue book. Okay. And I've had customers that literally just tell me, they're like, Curtis, we love everything that you're showing us. Do you guys have a special where we can buy your whole catalog? The answer is absolutely yes. Okay. Now, most of you guys go, wow, he must have great customers that just throw money at him. That's not true. What it is that I have a lot of power phrases and a lot of things that connect customers to our product and get them to understand that our product value outweighs the price of what it costs for our product. Now, you heard Roger talking about how Cutco is not the best knife out there. I absolutely think that that's garbage. We are the best knife that's out there. My mentality tells me that it's the best knife out there. And my customers also know it's the best knife out there. Okay. And the thing that's great about it is that, yes, we're high quality, we're American made, we're guaranteed, our sharpness stays sharp longer than anyone else. There's so many value things that we can talk to our customer about Cutco. But the one thing is that people, reps like us, what we get caught up on is the price of Cutco. And what I wrote down here is know in the back of your mind that people are spending more money on random things that they don't use every day that cost way more than what Cutco does. Now, what I do is I find these things out with a customer because I'm kind of nosy, right? Some of my customers have massage chairs, right, that they bought at shows. Massage chairs go anywhere from $4,000 all the way to $12,000. Tempur-Pedic beds, if you guys know, those beds go anywhere from $7,000 all the way up to $15,000. Now, yes, they use the bed every day. I get that. But the thing is that they're still spending money on things that they don't use every day. I have customers that spend $4,000, $5,000 on firearms, right? Y'all are in Texas. You know what I'm talking about, okay? People love their guns down there. So just, these are great conversations and things to find out what people are spending their money on, right? Hey, have you guys gone on a vacation lately, right? Most of the time people spend $4,000 to $10,000 on a vacation for 3 or 4 days away from their house, right? So have that in the back of your mind, right? But at the same time, know that they're going to use our products every day. It's guaranteed, it's American made, and it's the best product that's out there. The first thing that I have here is to lead your customer in the right direction. So write that down. You've got to lead your customer in the right direction in order for them to buy more than a set. Now, if you guys go off of the manual that you know, obviously it's going to lead you to a set sale because that is what Cutco has designed beautifully, is to sell their sets. But what they haven't done is they haven't taught you guys how to lead your customer in the right direction for them to buy more Cutco than just that Homemaker or that Signature or that Ultimate, okay? I have here, ask these specific questions. If you were to buy a set today, how many steak knives would you need? 8, 10, 12, 24, or 36? 36 being a complete set. Now, you guys are probably going, why did he say 8, 10, 12, 24, 36? Well, if you have a customer that needs more than 12, which most customers do, they need at least 16, 18, or 24. Well, that means that they could get an Ultimate plus 12, an Ultimate plus 8. Or if you're really good about it, you can actually have it. Are you guys, I didn't go away, did I? Someone called me. Okay. So if you get a customer that's like, yeah, I'll need at least 16 or 18. Well, guess what? They need at least a chest of flatware as well. Guess what, Mrs. Jones? We can sell you that set of knives that has 12 in it, but I think that you would also like our flatware, which is American made, guaranteed. Oh, it's the last American made flatware out there. But what it does is it gives you another 12 table steak knives, which will give you 24, which will be the perfect number for you, right? Do you see how I'm already upselling her and we haven't even gone over pricing, right? But what it also does is if that customer says, well, I need 8 at least, then what set of knives are you going to sell? At least a Homemaker plus 8, right? So it's a great question to ask. So lead your customer in the right direction. Ask them how many table knives or steak knives would they buy or need with their set of knives. Now, sometimes you might get that one customer is like, oh, I'm a vegetarian, we don't eat steak. Well, good, we have table knives. They're not steak knives. They're designed for blah, 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 right? And you can go right through that, okay? The next thing that I have right here, is there one item in your kitchen that you do not, or that you do know that needs to be replaced soon? Is there one item in your kitchen that you know needs to be replaced soon? And most of the time, your customers are going to tell you exactly what they want. And the big thing I want you guys to write down is want. If you hear a customer say, what I want is this, then they're already sold on what that is. You just tell them that we have it and they'll buy it, okay? Because if someone says want, they've already made up their mind that if they find a good one, they're going to buy it, okay? So is there an item in your kitchen that you know needs to be replaced soon? Next thing I have, When was the last time you said you didn't like your cookware, your flatware, your peeler, your can opener, yada, 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 right? This is very important that you guys ask these questions, because then they're going to tell you exactly what's on their mind, okay? I'm one of these people that I pay attention to the wording and how my customers are reacting so that I can actually show them packages and programs that Cutco has. Big thing there, packages, programs, right? Write that down. If you want to lead them in the right direction, you need to talk to them about programs and packages. Just so you know, Cutco has a lot of programs and packages that they designed specifically since COVID or the pandemic or whatever has come into play. And the great thing about working with them now is that you as a client get a better discount and are able to see these new packages and programs that they have to provide for you, right? What did I just do? I led that customer right into where I'm going, right? Because as you guys know, you have to start high in order to find out where you're going to land. So if you start off at a $10,000 package and you land at a $3,000 package, well, guess what? That's better than the $1,300 package you were going to sell her for the homemaker set, right? You guys know that motto, you have to get 4 no's out of the way to get a yes. Well, why doesn't the first no start at $11,000, right? Most of you guys are like, what? Yeah, your top reps in the nation, they start high and then they work their way down, okay? The next thing I have in here is that you have to intro packages and programs to every single customer. This is something that you're not taught because it's not in your manual. So what you have to do is you have to take that time before you ask that question. I wouldn't be doing my job today if I didn't ask you this question, right? You guys know that's in the manual if you've done it, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to intro right before you do that. Now, before I show you pricing and go over our product in detail, let me just let you know that our programs and packages are going to save you the most money, right? That our programs and packages are going to save you the most money. And all of our customers that buy our products usually come back to us and want to buy everything that we make. So here's your chance. Remember, guys, if you add anything on to a set of knives, you're winning the game, okay? And it adds up quickly. Then what you could do is say, now, if you were looking for a set of knives today, what set of knives would you like? And then you can start asking those questions that I was asking about. You know, have you seen our cookware? Do you know about our flatware? Can I tell you a little bit about this, right? Write that down. Can I tell you a little bit about this? Ask that question, because if they say, yes, sure, go ahead, then they just open the floodgate. Now it's your time to go over all the gifts, the accessories, the flatware, the cookware, the hunting knives, the wellness mats, whatever you want to sell, they're allowing you at that moment because you asked that question, right? And then go for the jugular. Now, the big thing that I put in here is also listen to cues of people that are price shoppers versus value shoppers. I know that you guys are going, wow, like there's so much movement and things that are going on here. But these are just things that are going to help you once you get to that intro, where to take them and how to take them into the next step. Okay. So most of the people that buy Cutco are what price? They're price shoppers. Okay. It could be because people want to, you just get straight to the bottom dollar. How much is it? How low can you go on that? And I'll buy it from you. Because most of the people that you guys are talking to are people that are either relatives or people that are friends of your relatives or people that know you directly. So the thing is that they're just going, you know what, I'm here to support you. I'll help you. Just tell me how much it is and how low you can get it for me and I'll buy it. Okay. That's the beauty of where you guys are sitting right now in our business. Okay. Once you get out where we are, it's more of the cold market where we have no clue who these people are. So we're just all like, okay, here you go. This is what I got, right? And then we create this atmosphere around them where they feel like they're a family member or they know one of our family members. Get what I'm saying? So I said here, most people that purchase Cutco are price shoppers. So what you need to do is you need to talk about price, right? The best deals are on our sets. The best deals are on our packages. The best deals are on our programs. Here's one that I wrote here. If you add on to the set of knives that you're looking at today, not only will I be able to get the set cheaper for you, but whatever you add on, I will get you at a really good price as well. So once again, what you're doing is you're talking about, if you add anything onto the set of knives that you're looking at today, not only can I give you a great price on that, but whatever you add on, I'll give you an even better price on that. Okay. What you're doing is you're suggesting to that customer that if you want to save money and you want to get the best bang for your buck, then you need to do this, add on or buy a package or a program. And they're literally going to tell you guys straight up, they're going to go, so tell me what packages and programs you have. Oh, well, I was waiting for you to ask me that, right? And then boom, if they ask you, then they're totally in and they're ready to spend thousands of dollars, right? Because it doesn't matter what it costs. Now they're just like, okay, if I'm going to spend money, I want to buy a package or a program because that's where I save the most money, right? You get the most bang for your buck, Mrs. Jones, if you do one of our packages or programs, right? Also, price shoppers. When you're going over it, make sure that you make it very obvious to them that it costs more if they buy things in the store that are not American made. Just so you know, if you go to the store, you're buying a name brand. You're not buying the value of what that brand does. Get what I'm saying there? So you tell your customer that when you go to the store, you're buying a name brand thing. You're not buying the value of what the brand can provide, right? Because with Cutco, we provide what? Forever sharpness, right? Breaking, dulling, cracking, chipping, melting, fading, staining. We will replace it, right? You have a local representative like me that's going to help take care of you, right? And you're going to have a liaison for buying product in the future. You're not going to go to the store and go, I don't know what I want. I don't know how this works. I'll just buy it because it looks cute, right? No, you're going to have a rep that's going to sit there and go, yeah, I suggest that you use this because this works for this, 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 and this, and that, right? You guys are the trained professionals. You should know how to sell Cutco because you were trained by a professional like Kathy, right? Your managers know how to sell Cutco. If you have any questions, you ask them. Or like Roger was saying, go online, look up the videos and listen to what the top reps are speaking and how they're teaching, right? It'll blow your mind at some of the things that you learn, okay? The other thing too is talk about you have to have the right tool for the right task, right? You heard that from Dante, right? But it's the same thing when you're buying the rest of your packages and programs, right? If you have good cookware or if you have good knives, you have to have good cookware that goes with it, right? So write that down. If you're buying the best knives in the world, then you're going to need the best pans in the world. You're going to need the best gadgets in the world, right? We make cooking easier because you have the best product there. Something you can rely on, something that's sharp, right? Because guess what? Once you cut up the food, where are you putting your food in? Oh, and those pans, are those pans the number one pans? Are those the best pans in the world, right? Are those professional grade like our pans, right? Just questions that you ask like that, okay? And it's okay for you to tell your customers and be direct like that. Right, Kathy? The more direct you are, the more you sell, right? Okay. So what I put in here is also know the value in the full line. Okay. And these are words and phrases that you guys can use as well. We are well known for our knives, but our other products are even more well known than just our knives. Did you guys know that the cookware has been around since the 1800s? Did you know that our cookware actually has 15 other brands where they put their name on it because it's the best pans in the world? Did you know that our pots and pans are actually on every Chop Champion, right? Every cooking show in America has our pots and pans on it. Did you know that our pots and pans are professional grade? Did you know that our pans cook easier, healthier, and better than any other pan that's out there? These are things that you need to know. These are things that you need to talk to your customer about, right? Did you know that our peeler has been the #1 product out there for more than 30 years? Right? Our ice cream scoop was ranked the best for more than 24 years. Our can opener is fantastic. Okay. Have fun with it too, guys. It's not about being serious too. You can have fun with your customers, right? The other thing I put here with value, when our customers get the knives, they almost always buy more products. Don't be that client that doesn't save more now and comes to me later when it's more expensive. I know your fingers are probably going crazy or you guys can't write it all down that fast, but that's just who I am. I talk fast.
That's exactly what they were all just saying.
So, but the thing is, you're recording this so you can send it out to them and then they can redo it over. Okay. When our customers get the knives, they almost always buy more products and then you go from there, right? Don't be that customer that comes back later when it's more expensive. Okay. Don't be that customer that comes back later when it's more expensive. Okay. Just trying to go slow for you. I wrote this down. All people want the best products. So if you are one of those people that want the best, here's your chance. Okay. Now, one thing that I have there, so these are just value phrasing. The next what it's going to do is it's just going to be you guys working with your customers one-on-one. And what I want you guys to do is you want to focus on making wish lists and asking them specific questions. And those questions are, if there is anything in our catalog that you would like for free, what would it be? If there is anything in our catalog that you want for free, what would it be? And this is very important because now you're taking notes and you're writing down exactly what they want. Okay. The big word here is want. Don't ever ask your customers what do they need, because needs do not get customers to buy. Okay. What's the one item that you want for free, right? And they're going to tell you. The other thing that you want to do is you want to ask that customer if going through the product, right? When you're going through it, you ask that customer, could you see yourself ever owning this? And if they say yes, then you write it on a piece of paper, right? Would you see yourself, or could you see yourself ever owning this? And if they go, yeah, I could see myself owning a new set of cookware. Okay, great. Can I show you your options on the cookware, and then go from there? The best thing that you can do is write down on a wish list, go through the product line, get what they really like, and then say, just for grins, can I show you what it would cost for you to get everything on your wish list? Just for grins, can I show you what it would cost, right, for everything on your wish list? Remember, we're trying to start high here, guys. If you're starting off with an ultimate and a peeler, well, guess what, Miss Jones, you buy that ultimate at $3,200, I'll give you the peeler for free, right? And then Kathy's going to say, are you sure that you couldn't have got them to buy more because they bought the ultimate set at full retail value, right? They didn't even do a 5-pay. You should be getting your customers to do a 5-pay where it's $1,800 per every payment, right? That's a $7,000 package, right? Okay. Because if they're spending $3,000 just like that, they can afford the rest of the Cutco line, right? Then what you want to do is you want to go over it with them and you want to slowly go down from there. Okay, so it looks like on your wish list, you would like a set of pans, you want the flatware, and you want a set of knives. So how about this? Let me go ahead and show you what the Cutco kitchen package is for all of the products that you were talking about. Did you guys know that we have a complete Cutco kitchen, a family kitchen, and a basic kitchen? Okay, some people are nodding heads. Some of you guys are like, what is he talking about? The basic set is the homemaker, signature set is the family set, complete set is the ultimate. So it's okay for you guys to go through that brochure. Most of you guys have the Cutco kitchen brochure. If not, Kathy can get it out to you, or we can send you a digital copy of it. Okay, and what it is it literally you just say the ultimate with the complete cookware and a flatware chest, the signature with the family set of cookware and the flatware, and then basic, on and on and on. Okay. Then you can start off that way and say, hey, if you buy the Cutco kitchen, it also comes with your gadgets, your accessories, it comes with the flatware accessories. And then what we do is we let you pick out 1 or 2 hunting knives, right? That package is normally $11,884. Cutco, since you're buying the whole thing, is allowing me to do it for $8,888, right? I just like eights because it just means infinity. It's a great round number, right? And the thing is, when you start putting it in, it just makes you feel great because your CPO is like 5,000 or 6,000 CPO. It's great. Then if they say no to that, they're like, okay, so if there is one item on your wish list that you know you would never use or don't want, what would that be? Right? And then they're going to say, oh, well, I don't think I need the gadgets. Okay, well, let's take the gadgets off. Well, guess what? The gadgets are already like either free or priced out. So what you do is then you just drop that 888 and you drop it by, a couple $100 more, right? Now you're only at 8,300 whatever, right? And that customer's like, okay, it's still a little too much. Okay, well, let's knock something else out, right? And then you go down to like $5,000 and then $4,000, and then you end up with just the ultimate set, right? But the main goal is that you're not only ending up with a set, you're getting them to get extra items on it as well, right? So this gives you that chance to go high and then go down low by building the right type of expectation with that customer. And then what it does is it allows you to literally break down the product with the customer and identify exactly what they're looking for, whether it's by price, by value, or both, right? Because you got to remember, if the value is overwhelmingly great, which it is, right? And then you build the price is going to be so much lower by doing it as a package deal, then it's just a home run from there on out. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys. I know that was a lot of information. It was a lot of stuff that you guys can add into your demos and stuff like that. I am going to open it up for Q&A. I always leave about 5, 10, 15 minutes for that. But the main thing is I didn't want to take away from the other people that were talking today, but get your mind wrapped around people spending $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000. The other thing I put here is ask for the order. Okay. If you don't ask for the order, it's never going to happen. Okay. And the thing is that believe in the process, believe that your customers can spend that money, and ask them how many, right? How many homemakers do you need? How many kids do you have, right? There's so many different programs that we can go on, okay? But I want to open that up because I don't know exactly what everyone covered. So if you guys have a question, you can ask me.
Yeah, and you can just keep spitting knowledge. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about like when someone already owns Cutco, they bump into someone who already owns Cutco. Like how do you bring up, I feel like I don't need anything else, or like, the gifting for kids, all the other things that you have. Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, so if they're a past customer, I call them a low-lying fruit. They already know how expensive Cutco is. Now it's just your opportunity to sell them more. If a customer says they don't need anything else, they've said that to the other rep that they bought the homemaker set from. So you know that they're just telling you that so that you try not to sell them anything, right? Always talk to them about the upgrade program. I know that you think that you have everything that you need, but I just want to let you know about 2 or 3 items that I think will fit perfectly with the set of knives that you already own. That's going to be the cheese knife. That's going to be the Hardy slicer. That's going to be the boning knife, which is our raw meat knife. And then the best knife Cutco has ever made is the vegetable knife. This is the sharpest straight edge knife that we make. You just barely touch something, Mrs. Jones, and it makes your life that much easier in the kitchen. Lightweight, easy to use, right? So talk about upgrades with them, okay? And then they'll be like, what do you mean upgrade? Well, you're a past customer, so we designed this new program that was designed specifically for you where we can upgrade you into a bigger block set, but you are only missing a few pieces to get to the next block, right? Go from there. The other thing that I do is I talk about, since you are a previous customer of Cutco, you're known as a preferred client, which Cutco allows us to give you bigger discounts if you buy for your friends and family. We have this new friends and family program, also known as our children's program, whatever you want to call it, right? I used to call it the kids program, and then people are like, you should make it the family program. Okay. And this is where clients can buy for their children as wedding, birthday, Christmas, anniversary. It could be your mom, your dad, your aunt, your children, second homes, RVs. We have an RV set that just came out that our customers are absolutely loving. And you guys, it's a galley set, right? They don't know that because they own a homemaker, right? It's the perfect size. It fits right into your, we all know how to work around that, right? So you could even do the sheath sets. You guys have seen those before. You can make up anything, a gourmet set, whatever you want to put in there, right? But the main thing is that you want to bring it up as, hey, just so you know, a lot of things in Cutco are changing, right? And this is going to be fast again. This is what I say to my customers like that. Just so you know, a lot of things are changing in Cutco, and we have a lot of new programs and packages that are only available for our past customers, which means you are a priority customer, right? And then you can go over what I just said there too. And then the customer's like, oh, okay, great. This is awesome. And then next thing you know, they're asking you, well, how much would it cost if I buy 3 homemakers? How much would it cost if I buy a set for my RV? How much? And anytime they ask you how much, right? Once again, they're price shopping because they're giving you cues. And you're all like, well, you know what? Since you're a past customer, we're going to hook you up, right? So maybe instead of full price, for the homemaker, you charge them for 4 table knives and the B block homemaker and give them 4 table knives for free, right? Whatever you want to do to make that deal happen, right? But I will tell you guys this, when you guys start talking to past customers and talk about things are changing in Cutco, they're going to perk up really quickly because they want to know, right? I want to be the first one to inform you that a lot of things are changing in Cutco. And almost immediately they're like, okay, what's changing? And then you start talking about the family program or second RV or home sets. And they're just all like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that way you don't have to travel back and forth. The other thing too, is if you guys are with your past customers and they're saying like their chef knife or their paring knife is going dull quickly, then you know that they're using their knives improperly. And it's easy for you to say, oh, well, it looks like you're using that knife improperly because you don't have the right knife. And they're like, what do you mean? Well, you're probably using your chef knife for meat, and that's actually fruits and vegetables only. So the 3 knives that you should have in your kitchen is boning knife, Hardy slicer, butcher knife, right? And then if they don't have those 3, then they're like, oh, well, I have to get those because I'm a meat cutter. Oh, well, if you're a meat cutter, you definitely need those. Plus we have the salmon knife, we have the cleaver, we also have this, right? And the next thing you know, they're adding on 4 or 5 items. Does that kind of answer your question, Kathy?
Mhm. Love it. What else? I know some of you new guys have no idea what to even ask. Francisco.
Don't be afraid. I was there.
You're like so much,
I
so
was writing
much
notes.
stuff. Mind blown. What else do you want to ask on or expand upon?
Can I just add to Dante's a little bit?
Yes, please.
So if you guys want to sell, there's 3 ways to sell the sets quickly. Okay, if you want to sell ultimate sets, you need to get good at selling a boning knife, vegetable knife, and the 4-inch paring knife. If you want to be great at selling signatures, get great at selling the Hardy slicer, the cheese knife. And for the homemaker, it's the Texas knife, which is the butcher knife, right? And then obviously what goes in that is going to be either the spreader or you can do the master carver, right? Some other key phrases that I want you guys to say too when you're selling the sets. We have 3 most common sets that we sell: our basic, our family, and our complete. The complete is for people that are carnivores, that love to eat meat and process their own food, right? Y'all are in Texas. This is something that makes me sell $100,000 at the Texas State Fair in 7 days. Okay. And most of the reps that work that with me are like, holy crap. Or Houston Rodeo sold $80,000 in 9 days with no knives, just a piece of paper telling them what they need to buy. Right. So literally, this is the carnivore set. Our most bought, most used, and most preferred set is our family set. It's the one that all of our customers recommend. And the basic is for those basic people that just need the basics to get by. You know that song, You're So Basic, right? I love telling people, oh, you want the basic? So you're just a basic chick, right? And then they look at me and they're like, well, not really. And I'm like, it's all right to be basic. We understand. Right? So, and then most of the time those customers end up buying a signature or an ultimate because they don't want to be basic, right? So,
By the way, that goes back to how you guys build rapport. Like Curtis is a master rapport builder. His customers freaking love him. And so you can say whatever the hell you want when you build a good relationship, you know? Like I had a customer tell me like, oh, I just don't know anyone. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to play that game. Like I said that to my customer and she laughed, I laughed. And I was like, Miss Jones, you are way too sweet not to have friends. I'm like, no way. I'm like, who do you know that's nice and won't buy? You know, like, and going through, but it's like when you build good rapport, you can say this shit, right? So I don't know, maybe Curtis, a couple of things on like that help you connect with people quickly. Like what are some things that could help them building rapport?
I do have a question later.
First thing to build rapport is to know their background a little bit, right? Like where they live. So if you guys are doing virtuals, it's easy for you to look up the local area that they're in and maybe identify like a park or something that their kids or whatever can go to, right? Where you go, oh, do you live over by blah, blah, blah park? And they're like, yeah, it's right down the street. Da, 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 da. They open up that much faster, right? The other thing too is ask them if they have children. How many children do you have? Oh, I have 4. And you're like, oh my, how did you deal with that? Right. And then they're like, oh, just right. It breaks down barriers, right? There's certain questions that you ask. The other thing too is, have you gone on vacation lately? Right? Because you guys know with COVID, nobody went on vacation, right? And they're like, no, but we're planning to go on vacation. Oh, where are you going to go? What did I just do? I just opened Pandora's box, because if they go, oh, well, we're planning to go to Hawaii. Oh yeah, how long are you going? Oh, 2 weeks. Okay. Well, I just went to Disney and it cost me $6,000 for 12 days. Right. And that was just the travel and the, stay. So I'm like, okay, well, if I just spent $6,000 and you're going there for blah, blah, then I'm like, okay, they got money, right? I got to take that money before they go on vacation. Right. So just have that in the back of your mind. The other thing too is laugh a lot. I think we get so serious with Cutco that we don't laugh. Like I make jokes all the time, some are inappropriate because I'm an inappropriate person, but some of them are also just like straightforward, yes, Mr. Jones, this is Mrs. Jones' favorite knife of the hunting collection. Oh yeah, it goes from 6 to 9 inches, right? And then he starts laughing and goes, well, she gets 9 from me, ha ha ha. And I'm like, I bet, right? So just stuff like that, right? So you just have to know the right timing of when to throw things in there. But customers like it when you break that focus so much in on, I'm trying to sell you, I'm trying to sell you, I'm trying to sell you. And when you come off more as just a lighthearted, happy, go lucky person, they're more likely to buy even more from you. And that's how I come off with my customers. Just let me get to know you. Kathy might not agree with this, but I've been teaching this since I started Cutco. Quit talking to your customers about your goals. Okay. It's not about you, it's about them. And I know you guys probably heard today, oh, you need to talk about your goal and what you're selling for push and da 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 da. That's great. You can do that. But I'm just saying that you're going to notice that if you talk more about them and who they are and what they're doing and what their current situation is and get more involved in them, it's easier for you to sell them things that they weren't expecting, because you're like, oh, well, if your second home is over in blah, 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 right, in Dallas, well, you know, we need to get a couple knives over there because you're going to really find out that you're going to miss the knives, you know, in Houston, and you wish that you brought them up 4 hours. You don't want to haul those back and forth, right? And the thing is that if you guys are going to do your guys' goals and stuff, there's something that I'm very famous in Cutco, and it's called your power intro. Okay. Your power intro sets you up with that customer from the very beginning. And if you are going to be one of those people that throws out your goals and your aspirations to the customer, you say it once and you say it only once. You don't keep bringing it up. Oh, well, if you buy this, Mr. Jones, you're really going to help me out. Oh, you got to help me out. You know, I call it the HBO special, right? Help a brother out, right? You can bring that out one time, but you don't need to bring it out like 10 times, right? So the thing is, in your power intro at the very beginning, you just straight up tell your customer, hey, I want you to know who I am so you don't think I'm just some random kid that's selling knives, right? This is my job. This is what I chose to do, blah, blah, blah. You tell them who you are and the reason why you're working for Cutco. And that's the perfect time for you to give them your little tidbit of, I'm trying to like earn college scholarship, or I'm trying to raise enough money that I can get my own apartment. I'm trying to raise enough money so I can pay for my college education, right? Or I'm trying to hit this goal before the end of the summer. And you know, this appointment really means a lot to me, right? And you leave it there, right? My power intro is a little bit different, you know, just so you know who I am. I'm not just some random kid that's out there selling Cutco. I've been doing this for 17 years. I have over 15,000 clients. And the main goal of me being here today is to suit your kitchen with the best product in the world. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a series of questions that's going to help me identify exactly what you need in your kitchen. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work on a way where we can get those products put into your kitchen today at a reasonable price that you're going to absolutely love. Right? That's my power intro. And people are like, holy crap, right? When they're sitting with me, I'm not just a normal rep, right? It's the same thing with you. You can do that too. But I would just focus, if you want to have the best rapport and be able to say whatever you want, is don't talk about you hardly at all, right? You got to be the mystery person where they're just like, oh, right? And I, you know, I'm one of these people where, you know, I don't bring up my daughter or my wife until the end, right? Because I don't want them to feel like, oh shit, like I have to buy because of that, right? And I'd be like, yeah, and if my wife was here today, she would tell you that this is the best deal you can get possible, right? I use that angle. Because my wife also sells Cutco. Her name's Tui Nguyen, and she charges everyone full retail value. So if she was here today, she'd be telling you, you better buy it, because if you see me next time, I'm going to charge you full retail, right? And then the customers, they start laughing and they're like, oh crap, your wife really does that? And I'm like, absolutely, right? And I was like, but there's a difference between, she only has 5,000 clients and I have 15,000. So who do you want to work with, right? And then they're like, well, obviously you. And I'm like, great, give me your credit card, let's go, you know? So just have that in the back of your mind. Any other questions?
Francisco Herrera.
Yeah.
Francisco, how are you, buddy?
Doing well. Can you hear me?
Barely.
I'll go up there. Is this better? Hopefully. Well, here's a question. Hey, when you, for gifts, I know you always prepare your clients in terms of dropping seeds. Where do you usually drop those seeds at for buying gifts? And for any quick seeds that you do mention, what would those be?
For dropping gifts for family members or gifts in general.
Yeah.
What I do is I drop it at the very beginning. Now, just so you know, we have some crazy discounts going on. It's July, so we have Christmas in July. It's one of our packages and programs that they're doing. A lot of customers love buying Cutco for their family members in November and December. And you don't want to be one of those people that get caught in the mess that we had last year where you don't get the product until February, right? So Christmas in July is one that I mentioned. The other thing that I do too is I talk to them as if they should be buying for their children, right? The next step for you in Cutco is to buy the gift of Cutco and give it to other people in your family, right? The next step in Cutco for you, right? It's almost like an AA class when you're with me. Because I'm like, step 1, buy your set. Step 2, complete your set. Step 3, buy for other people. Step 4, add on. Right. So, and the thing is that I tell my customers that from the very beginning, like, hey, here's what we're trying to go for. This is what we're looking, for in the future, right? You guys got to remember that you're setting up your business now as young reps. Don't be foolish and think that in, 4 months, 6 months, that your customers are not going to want to buy stuff as Christmas gifts, right? So plant the seed now. And with you, my sir, I know you have lots of past customers. So the thing is that it's very easy for you to sit down with your customers now and be like, hey, this is the new programs and packages that Cutco is changing. And I think that you should definitely take advantage of it, right? Once you know these clients and you get to know them, it's easy for you to tell them exactly what they need, the next step. Does that kind of help you, Francisco?
100%. Thank you so much.
Yep. And then just remember throughout your whole entire, whether you're doing a demo or a service call, just make sure that you guys are constantly dropping it. Oh, this makes a perfect gift. So if you know someone that has a bad can opener, this is perfect. Have you ever been to one of those holiday meals and your aunt was cooking or someone was cooking, it was terrible? Well, here's your opportunity to buy it for her. The other thing that I would do too is talk about the hostess gifts. Okay. Francisco, this would probably be something great for you, right? Whenever we have family friends come over, when you guys go to someone's function or a family function, they usually bring like a bottle of wine or something as a hostess gift, thanking them for hosting. Start talking to your customers about, hey, are you hosting Thanksgiving this year? Are you hosting Christmas or any of the holidays? And if they say, yeah, we're actually hosting, or they're like, oh, hell no, we're not hosting anymore. Oh, okay. Well, who's hosting? And they're like, oh, well, my mom hosts. Oh, well, have you ever thought about getting your mom a Cutco gift as a hosting gift? She would absolutely love that. She probably doesn't have a great pie cutter or an ice cream scoop, or she probably needs a can opener for her yams or her condensed milk, right? And then next thing you know, they're like, yeah, that would be awesome. Because you got to get your guys' customers to give the gift of Cutco, because the reaction from the person that gets the Cutco is almost like nobody's business, right? They're just like, oh my God, I can't believe you bought me this. This is the best thing I've ever gotten. Where did you get it? Blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, they're calling you, they're buying Cutco from you, right? But that excitement of that customer that gave the Cutco product out now is hooked on giving Cutco to every single person. And most people wonder, well, how does Curtis sell $400,000 in the last 3 months of the year? Well, it's really easy. My customers are so hooked on giving people Christmas gifts and random gifts of Cutco that they literally line up at our booth at the mall and they literally clear us out, right? We sold $158,000 at our mall in 14 days before Christmas or 17 days before Christmas, right? And there was a picture that I took and it literally, you saw the line coming out of Apple, and then our line went through that line into Apple. And people were talking in the line. They're like, what are you waiting on Cutco for? And they're like, oh, the guy that's up there, he's the best. He sells his Christmas gifts and everybody loves it. Da, 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 da. Right. So we almost had to tell Apple that they needed to move their line the opposite direction because we had like 15 people in line at the Cutco booth. Right. So the thing is to just have that mentality that people buy gifts and that they should be buying it for other reasons or other things. If you don't teach your customers or tell your customers how other people are buying, then they don't buy it, right? and just let people know. People buy it and they give it out, and that's the best gift that they've ever gotten. Right?
Hey, Curtis, can I ask one more question?
Yes.
One last question. So a very common objection that I've been working through recently is the objection of, hey, well, let me go ahead and I'll talk to my daughter first real quick and see what she's looking for. And we all know what happens. They talk to their daughter or son and they're like, I don't really need knives, mom.
I don't need knives. I need money, mom.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever
The thing is that if you get that objection, now, one thing is we don't want what ifs, because if we put it in the atmosphere, it comes to us. So that's one thing that you got to stop doing, is putting the what if in there. Okay. Just tell them, well, you should get it. If they don't like it, then they can return it. Right. Because we know once they get it, they're not going to return it. Okay. So that's the first thing. But the main thing is that, yeah, you probably haven't asked your daughter what knives that she wants, or if she wants a good set of Cutco knives, but you really don't have to ask her. And the reason why is because if she doesn't own Cutco, then she doesn't have the best. And you want your daughter to have the best, don't you? So what you do is you spin it right back at them, right? You have the best. Don't you think that your kids should have the best? And then they sit there and they go, well, yeah, I just want to. So you want to ask them, if you're going to ask them permission for you to give them the best product in the world. Like, yeah, that's kind of dumb, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, you don't need to ask her. And here's the thing. If she gets it and she absolutely doesn't want it, we can return it and you can get a full refund. But she will be completely shocked that you thought about her and bought her Cutco. Right? And the thing is that if she's like, well, I really want to ask, okay, great. We'll call her right now. And I have my customers call right there. And then the daughter gets on there and mom's like, yeah, I'm here with the Cutco guy. I was thinking about getting you Cutco for Christmas. And then I chime in. Yeah, she wants to buy you a great set of knives. She said that you have terrible knives and need a good set. And then you just take over the conversation, right?
Right.
Or help with the conversation. You don't take it completely over, but
Right.
you add to it. Because then if the customer does call them right there and they are talking to their child, it's a little bit easier, because then they're not going to say no when the parent's like, yeah, I'm here with the Cutco guy. He's here at the house and I'm looking to get you some knives. They're not going to go, mom, don't buy me a set, or they're not going to be rude, because if they are rude, then that's where I just go, wow, I guess you didn't need to call her. You better send her that $100. It's burning in her pocket already, But the thing is, you won't have that. So I just want everyone to know that's on this conference call, it's not going to go that way. It's going to go beautifully when you say, well, you want your daughter to have the best, right? Yes. Okay. Well, you don't need to ask her, because you might as well get her the best and surprise her with the best. Right.
I agree. I just get that objection every once in a while.
Yeah, you do. And I get it too. So when you said that, I'm like, okay, but that's what I do, is I just use the best. And then if they're still like, well, I really need to talk to them. Well, how about this? Can you call them right now? And then we can ask them. And if they're like, oh, well, they're at work or then they're just blowing smoke up it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And they're like, okay, well, I don't want to high pressure you or push you into it, but what I can tell you from experience is that once you give the gift, they're not only shocked, but they're very grateful, because they know you've had your Cutco 15, 20 years, and they know that you're super satisfied, and they know that I come over here all the time and sharpen the knives. So why wouldn't they want the best too, And then the customer's like, yeah, you're right. Maybe I should just do it. It's a little nudge,
100%.
Hey.
Mhm. Awesome. Any other questions?
Yes. Yeah, I have a question. Curtis, Johnny Batacola. When you have
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, how's it going? When you have an
Good.
old customer who is saying, I'm 76, I'm probably going to die soon anyways, why should I get the upgrade?
I'm going to die soon. Well, don't you want the finer things now in your life? Don't you want your life to be how you have the best things that make your life that much easier and better quality? right? So the thing is, you just play on that. Well, if you're going to die soon, you might as well spend it because you can't take it with you, and you might as well enjoy it while you have it, right? And that's the first thing that comes out of my mouth is, oh, well, if you're planning to die soon, you might as well spend it because you can't take it with you. And then they laugh, right? And you're all like, plus the thing is that I'm only showing you things that are going to actually benefit your life and make it easier. I would never, ever sell you something that's not going to benefit you. That's not my job. My job is to simply give you an option to not only have the best product that's easier and gives you better time in the kitchen, but you got to also remember, yeah, you're 76. There's probably people in your family that you want to will this to. So it's a great opportunity to not only get the benefit of using it and making your life that much easier in the next few years that you think you're going to be alive, but at the same time, it's going to also be passed down to the next family member, and they're going to enjoy it and know that your money was well spent. Does that help you?
Yes. I'm trying to think of what else was like kind of pitched after that, because I didn't take that route, and I wonder what would happen if I would have said that way, because that would have been the right way to take it.
Yeah, and I do that. And then what you do is you bring in the family. You just bring in family and friends. And if they go, well, I don't have any kids and I don't know who I'll will it to, you'd be like, you know what, you can will it back to me, and I'll make sure someone gets your Cutco that will absolutely love it too. You know, and the thing that's crazy about it is that I've actually had a bunch of Cutco willed back to me. I've had Chesta Flatler willed back to me. I've had an Ultimate willed back to me. Some of my clients do pass on that don't have family members, and I get their old Cutco. And some of it's in my grandma or in my mom's camper. Some of it's over in my brother's camper. We're using a dead guy's flatware here at my house. So I know you guys are all laughing, but the thing that's great is I didn't have to pay for it, you know, but
My God.
if you have a great relationship with your customer, literally they'll, you know,
Anything goes.
Oh, I love it.
so
Oh,
hey,
man.
I'm just being honest. And it's the best flatware I have. So
Love it. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Awesome. Any of our managers or CSPs or anyone have any other question for Curtis before we wrap up? All right. Well, this is awesome. Thank you, Curtis. Any last words, Curtis, as we're getting ready? We've got this week is Momentum Week. We start the push next Monday. So any tips you would give these guys in terms of just like going after a big push?
Yeah, what I would do if you guys go in for a push, whether you're a veteran or you're a new rep, is make sure that you set up your schedule with your fear list in between your money list, in between you don't know list. And what I mean by that is that you don't want it where all your money people are at the very beginning of the push, because then what you'll do is you'll burn right through those. What you want to do is you want to have an equal balance where you have the mystery customer, the bad customer, and the great customer on one day, because what it does is it helps you navigate through your push a little bit easier. The other thing too is strategize right now of who you're going to contact and who you want to work. Push doesn't start until Monday, so you should already have your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday already being booked up now, right? You should plan your phone time accordingly, so you should know exactly when your phone time should be. I always planned my phone time on Tuesday, set up my Wednesday, Thursday, my Thursday, set up my Friday, Saturday, and then my Sunday was my day off, which set up my Monday, Tuesday. Right? So you just know when your times are to set up your days appropriately. The other thing that I would do too is make your list now. Don't wait until the middle of push to figure out who you're going to call and what you're going to do. Don't stress out about the number. Okay. And what I mean by that, if you're going for a 10K push, do not think about the 10K goal. Think about the little things that add up to 10K, how many orders you need, how many people you need to see, and how many people you need to close. And keep that mindset focused every day that you're in push. Okay, I need to do 10 appointments, or I need to do 5 appointments today. Do your 5 appointments. Whatever number comes out of it is the number that comes out of it. Then on your second week of push, reflect back on what went well, what didn't go well, and what needs to change for you to do well on the next week moving forward. Okay. The other thing too is if you get a big sale, okay, and what I mean by that is if you all of a sudden sell an ultimate set and it puts you ahead of schedule, don't get lazy, build off of that momentum and keep going. The other thing too is talk to your customers about that momentum. Okay. And what I did when I do this in my pushes now is I literally talk about, yeah, and that guy right there, or I had a guy an hour ago that bought an ultimate set. He said he was buying it for a second home, an RV or whatever, and then get customers to go, wow, people are spending money. And then it's like, yeah, right now is the time to buy. Right. So build off of the momentum that you're already having. If someone's buying, you just say, yeah, I just had a customer that just bought like $500 worth. They're buying it as gifts. You know, they're super excited about our Christmas and July sale. What are you doing? You're self-promoting, right? And that's the big thing about your push. The other thing too is if you're falling flat on your face, remember it's a push. It stands for push until something happens, right? Don't give up. You got to keep moving forward. Okay. A lot of times I call it Miracle Monday. I've had Mondays where I sold 10 grand. I've had Mondays where I sold 20,000. I've had Mondays where I've sold, you know, more than God knows. Right. So, you know, just have that in the back of the mind. I got all my no's out of the way. Now I'm finding the yes. Get what I'm saying? Oh, I saw my bad apples. Here comes the good apples. Always have that in your mind, like, right? My wife was working yesterday and she goes, oh my God, the first 3 people are awful. And I'm like, yeah, and your attitude is awful. And then she goes, yeah, I guess so. And I was like, yeah, you need to change it because the next customer needs all of your energy and all of your focus because that's going to be the customer that's going to buy today. And she's like, how do you know? And I'm like, because you're going to change your attitude and you're going to go in there and you're going to give them everything that you have and make them feel great. Then she calls me and she sold $700, right? She's like, oh my gosh, you were right. They were the best person of the day. I'm like, yeah, change your dang attitude, right? So just have that in the back of your mind. If that's what's going on, you got to change it, right?
Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much, Curtis.